Hello, you're welcome to What the Papers Are Saying. I am Vivian Lokko. Thank you so much for joining us for another edition where we'll look at the big stories as reported by various media outlets. When we come back, I'll take you through the stories that made headlines this week. Stay with us. We'll be right back. So welcome back to What the Papers Are Saying. I am Vivian Lokko. So let me take you through the big stories for the week. The first has to do with some altercation at the Tamale Teaching Hospital between some workers of the hospital as well as the Minister for Health. Subsequently, we saw the dismissal of the acting director of the hospital over the death of a patient. So let's see how that story was captured. We'll start with the Daily Guide. They say Mahama sacks Tamale Teaching Hospital CEO Dr. Abdullahi acting. Channel 1 News says Akanda appeals for calm collaboration amid TTH doctor strike. We'll move away from that, and the suspension of the Chief Justice also made headlines this week. Let's see how that was captured. The custodian says Ghana's day of shame. Demolition man Mahama pulls down CJ. The Herald says financial misconduct, controversial judgment and administration decisions gets Chief Justice Tokonu suspended pending probe. Let's move away from that. Let's take you to another big story that having to do with the Akonta Mining Company. What has been the issues around that? Let me take you to the Ghanaian Times. They say government revokes mining lease for trespassing Tano Forest Reserves. That's the Lands Minister. Channel 1 News, Akonta Mining refused Galamsey claims in Tano Forest. And finally, it will take you to a story around drug abuse having to do with Zongo youth shutting down some shops over that. It will take you to City Newsroom. Greater Accra Region Zongo youth launched drug crackdown, shut down over 20 shops. So those are some of the big stories. When we come back, we'll go into them. Stay with us.
Life is a celebration of moments, big and small.
The sun is scorching, feeling the heat.
With Piva Drink, every moment becomes a refreshing celebration. From the beach to your home, in every corner of your world, Piva Drink at a burst of refreshment.
Give me Piva cocktail and tangerine.
Celebrate every moment with Piva Drink. Refreshment for every occasion. Piva Drink, a taste you will love.
P for Piva.
This advert is FDA approved.
This year, take the first step towards a deeper connection with God and one another. Join us for the Family Consecration Service, a powerful journey of faith, love, and renewal. In 2025, we are called to consecrate our homes, our hearts, and our lives.
The Lord is protecting you with His favor this morning in the name of Jesus. May the Lord favor your going out. May the Lord favor your coming in.
To dedicate ourselves and our families to the path of faith, grace, and unity. Through prayer and reflection and a shared devotion, the Family Consecration Service 2025 brings families closer together, strengthens bonds, and invites God's presence into every corner of our homes. It's on Thursday, 1st of May 2025 from 6 a.m. to 12 noon. The venue is the Oil Dome, Royal House Chapel International, Accra. There will be renewal of vows for married couples.
On this occasion, I'm asking you to forgive me for all the hits and pain I have caused you.
Join countless families around the world as we come together to consecrate our lives in the spirit of love and faith. A consecration for today and for generations to come. Make this year a new beginning. Family Consecration Service 2025 for the love of God and the love of family. Join us this year. Together, let's consecrate our families and our hearts.
Yeah, welcome back to What the Papers Are Saying. I'm Vivian Lokko. Let me introduce my guests for today's discussion. I have in the studio Samuel Atamensa, who is here with us, Channel 1 TV, as well as City 97.3 FM. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
And I also have Salam Madonu also here with us at Channel 1 TV, as well as City 97.3 FM. Salam, welcome.
Thank you, Vivian.
Right. So, gentlemen, we'll start with discussions around TTH. It's been an eventful week with that hospital. A visit from the health minister, the death of a patient, movements at top management level. But before I go into the discussion, I want you to see some few videos of some of the things that have happened at that hospital this week.
You are behaving in front of me. So you can imagine how
I'm trying to explain.
You can imagine how
I'm trying to be
I mean, with this attitude even to your superior, can you imagine how you deal with common people? And that's why that creates the problem. That's what will create the problem.
For the past 2-3 days, I have been speaking to stakeholders in this sector. And please, it isn't everything we can put out there as leaders. I am prepared for us to come around the table and discuss whatever we need to discuss. And so my humble appeal to my wonderful medical doctors and health professionals at Tamale Teaching Hospital is that I am the first person to take care of your interest. And therefore, let's call off the strike and let's all regroup and strategize going forward.
So those are some sights and sounds, one from the Tamale Teaching Hospital, the second in the Greater Accra region after government did some donations to the hospital following concerns over some challenges they are facing. Gentlemen, welcome again. It's been an interesting one. We know that there are some strike ongoing there. The workers have refused to call off the strike, having to do with emergency services, among others. The minister wants them to call off that strike and return to the table. Let me take, Samens, your initial thoughts over the developments. First, the visit. Some say you should have done that visit without going with, media men and women to see exactly what is going on. It led to an altercation, right? And then subsequently, it led to a dismissal of the boss of the place. An acting one has been brought in. And now we're seeing some strike from the workers over there. And the minister saying, please, let's talk this out. There's no need for us to strike. People will die over this.
It's unfortunate. It is unfortunate that it has gotten to this point. I mean, I don't think anyone predicted that it would get to this level. The issue of whether he should have gone, he shouldn't have gone. For me, it's. I mean, he's a minister. The buck stops with him, and so he should be able to show up whenever he wants to. Ideally, it will be preferable that he informs the management of the hospital about his schedule. Yeah. Okay, maybe he has reasons why he chose not to, which is what raises the suspicions. And so in an ideal situation, you would expect the minister paying a visit to inform them ahead of time. And I believe that the minister wouldn't be saying everything to the public. There are things that he would know that we do not know. And so our commentary and our judgment will be based on only the things that we know and have seen. And so based on that, I can say that he could have done a better job with the approach. But I don't...
Well, what would you have felt he should have done? Some
I just said it. He should have informed them ahead of time. That's what I said.
Some believe that what happened in terms of the guy that died.
Two things.
Yes.
I mean, it's unfortunate whichever way you look at it.
Yeah.
For somebody to die in a hospital.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's my first point. Secondly, these things happen in numerous hospitals. Okay? And I'm not saying, not by this saying that it's a normal practice. I'm saying that would he pop up everywhere somebody dies? Is that what he's going to do? And we all know the answer. And so that's why I say that there must be other reasons that would push him to, if like, attend to this situation the way he did, which we may not know. But for what we know, I think that he could have done a better job in the manner through which he, the approach, basically. Why are they on strike? They are not on strike because somebody has been dismissed.
Yeah.
They are on strike because they believe that one of their own was not fairly treated.
Yeah.
Just apologize and get them to work. You have nothing to lose. I think you have nothing to lose by saying that, well, it wasn't intended to be so. However, if this is what happened, then we apologize. Further to that, let's all meet and chart a path going forward. You know, the reason, you see, the stance of, I won't apologize, I haven't done anything, it's worrisome. You see, because as for politicians, they are all the same, as we say. When they come, in their mind, they are there forever. Yeah. In their mind, I'm telling you, they actually think that they are there forever. Something that you are appointed by somebody, not that you went to apply for the job, not that you begged for the job, you were appointed at the will of somebody else. So what you do is you mend bridges. You understand? This is it. They said they are offended by your approach. You can explain, but well, this is what I intended to do.
Yeah.
Having done that, if you are offended, then I apologize. I'm only a human being. Yeah. I'm a minister, but that doesn't make you immortal. That doesn't make you God. Apologize. Let's see what we can do together. Because guess what? After he went there, he didn't sleep there. He didn't stay there. Where is he now? He's back.
No problem.
Continue with his work. So while you are away, they have showed you that you will not be there forever. And whilst you have been away, they have decided to go on strike. This is what has happened again. Whilst they are on strike, it has caused you to stop what you're doing to now come and attend to them again. Yeah. Whose time is being wasted?
Yeah.
So I think that he should just apologize and get the people to work and not just leave it. Discuss the issues. Because, look, they went to present some things. I mean, that's good public relations. No two ways about that. They went to present. Yeah. Unless they are telling us that they didn't know that the hospital needed all these things
yeah.
until they went there yesterday. So it was only yesterday that they found out that the hospital needed all these things. Then there must be something wrong with the chain of instruction. There must be something definitely wrong. But if you go and give a hospital of this magnitude consumables like this, you actually have not solved their problems. The bigger problems are still staring at us. The machines that are not working. Today, somebody called us and said that he went to one major private laboratory here in Accra. A patient was driven in an ambulance from Karaga in an ambulance.
Wow. All the way to Accra.
All the way to Accra.
Jeez.
Guess what? Because they had to do an MRI.
Wow. So from Karaga all the way to Accra, nowhere to do the except Accra.
Yes.
Right.
Now, what picture does this paint? So if they don't have MRI, they don't have all these critical machines, and you do a PR by donating gauze and plaster and all the things you did, it's a good PR, but you still have not solved the problem. And guess what? The problems that Tamale Hospital is facing, they're just the symptoms. And it's representative of the problems faced by regional hospitals, district hospitals, teaching hospitals. So it's not, so the thinking is that if you want to supply, go through the process, make sure that you have activated the supply chain. Mm-hmm. There's money, because this thing of, let me go, it reminds me of the former Greek minister who, when they said there was no food, he said that they should come and buy food at the ministry. And they bought it for 2 days and everything ran out. And he was just happy with himself. This is what the man has done. Go and give them today. Next week, the thing will get finished. Will you take it again next week? Fix the system.
Okay, Salom. He's spoken this morning saying that, of course he didn't use the word, I'm sorry, but he sort of, tried to reach out to them to call off the strike and have a better discussion. Is it good enough for them to also rescind their decision?
Well, I think there's a way so-called big men apologize. Maybe that's what he's done.
They don't know how to use the word, I'm sorry.
He said he was humbly appealing to them. And he also said he was ready to sit around the table to discuss any matter.
That's right.
So maybe we have to.
That's a way of apologizing.
But I mean, it's a very serious situation we find ourselves in. There are a number of interests there, or a number of. It's a multifaceted matter. A number of aspects of it that must be balanced. I mean, in every way you look at it, there's the interest of the ministry or the minister who bears a responsibility. His job is to build public confidence in our facilities and to protect the masses, protect the people who go to the hospitals to seek health care. He also has a duty to provide equipment, facilities, consumables, etc. for those facilities to work. He has to ensure that the facilities are running. That is his responsibility. So he bears a lot of responsibility. In the end, he is the duty bearer. The buck stops with him. The hospital also feels that its doctors, their job is to deliver healthcare, but they feel they do so under very difficult conditions. And we hear the doctor, Valentine, in questioning the head of the A&E department. Mm-hmm. In the video, we heard the lady say that there were times he himself organized water in the yellow gallons to be brought to the facility for things like that. So they also feel that they've done what ordinarily they shouldn't be doing, and they've only done so because they are committed to their oath, their job, and they intend to help people, and that's what they are doing. And for a lot of these guys, I mean, they come from that side of town, and if you know how they see themselves as brothers usually, and they will do everything to ensure that their brethren are taken care of. So yes, that is understandable somewhat. In the middle of this is the patient. The patient has lost his life, and the family are grieving. They are grieving. They said he's 31 years. I don't know if he has a wife or children. If he has children, these are kids who will be left fatherless. The wife will be left as a widow, and it has a lot of problems. So a family is grieving. A minister has heard this, and I don't think he just went there. There was public uproar. There was uproar on social media. People were talking about it, medical negligence, etc. I could understand that the hospital also felt some pressure and pain from the way people were discussing the matter. People who had no knowledge on the matter, people who didn't have the full facts, they were just discussing it generally as medical negligence, and also bringing in their own experience of what they've seen in hospitals, what has happened to them in facilities, etc. Bringing all of that to bear, some based with facts, others not, all thrown it at the facility. So, yes, I can understand that. I can understand the patient's family and all of that, and I can understand the minister too. That's why I said there are very delicate interests in this matter that must be balanced. The minister's approach, yes, may be problematic, or it is actually, it could be better. Okay. I understand he did a similar thing at the Ridge Hospital with cameras all over the place, etc. I don't know if it's a new style.
He's been around quite a number of the hospitals.
I don't know if it's a new style. I don't know what they want to do. But perhaps he knows things we do not know. But, I mean, let's face it. We are all not very happy about what we see in our hospitals. Sometimes we go to the doctors, they do their best. They try. But like we said, a few ones will not do what is right, or the hospital workers generally. You go there, sometimes the agency you require, maybe the agency is not there. Perhaps they've seen your situation many times over.
1,000 times.
So what you think is a very bad situation doesn't look bad to them. I can understand that. You know, sometimes a patient is in pain, a nurse is sitting by on the phone. You know, all of these things don't help. The minister has, I'm sure he heard a lot of these things. And as a new minister, he wants to hit the ground running. So he thinks that he can solve all the problems at once. That will be some naivety to think that you can solve all the problems at once, use Choboy to get it solved at once. I don't think it's possible. What perhaps he could have done was to maybe look at his approach, look at his approach. But again, I'm saying I can understand him also because he was moved to action because of the public uproar.
But we keep forgetting, this has always been Akando's style.
Yes.
This is
always been. But he
usually
wouldn't have gone to TTH the day he went. Perhaps he would have gone elsewhere.
Yeah.
But he went there because
of the issue.
Yeah. So he decided to go, unannounced.
Well, remember the Kolebu lift thing?
Yes.
When he went there with the can, which also led to...
Minister.
He was the minister
of course.
So
I'm saying this is him
He went
on
there
the normal
without
day.
any responsibility. He had an interest, but he didn't have a responsibility.
Yeah.
Nobody was going to question him for a breakdown in anything in Kolebu.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that it may be your style, but you need to be able to appropriate the style in a logical manner. You see, the hospital, beyond the service it provides, is a professional environment. You understand? That's why they are called the medical practice. So if you were angry enough, what you are supposed to do is to set up a committee of able, intelligent, practitioners or officers or even politicians to go into the matter in a decent manner. That's how you do it. You don't say you are angry, so you go. So, the whole altercation, what if somebody used some stone to hit your head? Because you are angry? Yeah. No. You are angry. Fair enough. And I agree with him 200% why he should be angry. But I do not agree with him on the approach. It is not done in a professional environment. And listen, politicians, look, when they get into government, they actually believe that they are not part of the system. They are bastardizing professional environments. So right now, if you are a doctor, a senior doctor, as you approach the apex of the hierarchy, you start getting concerned and worried because you must need to belong to a political party to keep your job.
Wow.
You have to. If you don't, they will sack you. And if you do and your party is not in power, they will sack you. This is what, let's not take this political rubbish into the professional environment. Let's leave the doctors out, the medical profession, all these professionals. Let's leave them and play our politics somewhere else. But if you're a doctor, now, a doctor was complaining to me, now we don't even know what to do. Because if you are not with them, you will go away, they will sack you. If you are with them, somebody else will come and sack you. If you are in the middle, you are suspicious based on your ethnic group. We don't have to manage this country the way we are going. And it's the two major political parties playing chaskele with us. They play chaskele, then you go and throw you somewhere, then they are happy. Yeah, we have done it to him. We can't grow the country like this. We cannot. It may sound justifiable to you because you're angry. But when you are no more in power and you sit down and you watch, you understand what I'm talking about.
So the full glare of the public thing, I think he could have done better. And asking them questions, almost an inquest. in the full glare of almost putting them on the spot, putting them on the defensive. I thought he could have done better. I mean, it's not proper. I thought he could have done proper. However, I think the doctor's response to is a bit disproportionate. You don't suspend services to the whole northern part of the country because of this. There are other ways of making your points head, or you're putting your points across. But to suspend service, I don't think it's proportionate. There are various ways of making your voice heard. Yeah. GMA could do something. I mean, there could be a way around it.
That's a bit extreme.
I think it's very extreme. That's the weapon they have. And if you use this weapon and nothing is happening, what else do you have? I thought that they could have done something better. And it does appear that they want to work to rule now. Okay, we did not have the facility. There were ventilators we needed. We didn't have. We were trying our best. The patient died, and you are blaming us as if we killed the patient. So now this is what we need. A, B, C, D. Give us all these things. The medium term, give us this. If those things don't come, it won't work. I don't think it's proper. I think they have to reconsider their position and come again. If they are still on strike, they need to call off that strike. The public may be on their side somewhat, but after a while, the public will turn against them. We don't do that. Yeah. Find other ways of getting your voices heard rather than suspending service. If you suspend service, somebody goes there and the person dies. What have you achieved? Your anger at the minister would have caused somebody to lose his life. Somebody would have lost a parent or a child. That is not proper. So they should reconsider that quickly and come up. And I don't understand why a teaching hospital will be lacking such basic, consumables and facilities. A teaching hospital should be at a certain standard. And if we are not ready to equip our teaching hospitals to play at the level befitting of them, let's downgrade them and put them where they are. Because a teaching hospital cannot operate. I mean, the whole teaching hospital, serving the whole northern part of Ghana, has just 4 ICU beds. Mm-hmm. I mean, 4 ICU beds. Someone just talked about an example where somebody had to be driven from Karaga to Accra because of MRI.
And I have one of the nurses send a message on that even Tema, she says, even Tema General Hospital does not have MRI, CT machine, and mammogram. And
I mean, we need to take a second look at all of these. So, you see, the politicians will be happy. They build hospitals. We've built Bank Hospital, we've done Ridge Hospital, Agenda 111, etc. Those are headline grabbing. Mm-hmm. But beyond the structure, what is in the facility? What is in the facility? And how do we ensure that if the facilities break down, they are repaired quickly? And that also brings into question...
That's the point you just made.
That brings into question how we manage the facilities. There are times a facility will break down, they will direct you to another facility next door, which has that same equipment. Yeah. So why is it that the facility cannot work, or that equipment cannot work in the government hospital,
but
it works
in
elsewhere?
The private sector.
We need to look at that.
Because he will get more money by directing you to the other
side. And that is
somebody can drive from Karaga to Accra just to do MRI. They should know what we are talking about.
It's not correct. So whilst this has come, I mean, the anger may be good, or the anger is good, if the anger we have seen or we are seeing will lead to reforms. Yeah. We saw this before. When there's no bed syndrome thing happened. An old man, 71 years or so, was driven through some 4 or 5 top hospitals in the metropolis, didn't get a bed. I think he eventually died. There was anger all over. Parliament set up a committee. They did a lot of things. We don't know what became of that. So we shouldn't become a people who get angry at things. Okay. And when the dust settles, we will go back to our old ways. I'm not sure any facility or any public institution in Ghana can say they have everything. Some schools don't have chalk. You remember the issue about schools and chalk. I mean, even courtrooms. Yeah. There are some courtrooms, even the standing fans they have to just it a certain way before. I mean, so no institution in Ghana in our third world context has everything. All the professionals who work in those places do their best. They understand why they are there. They do their best. I think that the doctors must be given their due, but they must also know why they are there. Other professionals must be given their due. They must know why they are there. The minister, perhaps he wants to solve problems. He must also give the needed respect to the professionals and let them work. And the doctors, what are they saying? This is the guy you will go to tomorrow if you have a problem. So if you spar with him this way and you refuse to back down, tomorrow when something happens and you need something addressed, who will you go to? And I think he made that point that he's the one who has their best interest at heart. They should patch up. The doctor should return to work,
but
and let's get things done.
Apologize,
I think
should apologize.
Yeah, but I think
he's done the political way of apologizing.
Oh, please, what I thought. What is he going to tell us about politics? Just tell them that. No, just tell them that you didn't mean it that way, and you will find a better. Let's engage. We apologize if we have offended you, and let's move. Because you see, you talk about the strike action, and I'm saying that no doctor worth his salt will wake up without a cause that I'm not attending to patients. We need to see it from that angle. It's unfortunate that they have taken.
But the point is, would that cause be justified in the face of what the potential?
I don't have all the information, so I'm just assuming that they may have enough reasons to take the position. Now, if all they are asking is not to say that come and supply us with all our equipment before we go back to work, but just apologize so that we will restore the dignity of the person who we believe you have not. Just apologize. You win. You actually win by apologizing and then resolve it. Now, let me quickly go through the things that they have supplied. You've gone to give them digital sphygmomanometer, 8 of them. Bowl with stand. Bowl with stand, 10. Kick about bucket, 3. Instrument cabinet, 5. Word screen, 5. Operating lamp, 1. Delivery set, 5. EEG, I don't know what it means, but whatever. 1.
It's a cardiogram.
Okay.
For the heart.
Good.
ECG and EEG.
Okay, good. Emergency resuscitation trolley, 5. Fetal stethoscopes, 5. Ambu bags, 20. Nebulizer set, 5. Patient trolley, 5. Wheelchair, 5. Listen carefully. Examination lamps, 5. Fetal heart detector, 5. ECG machines, 5. Bulb suction, 5. Oxygen concentrator, 1. Pipette tips, 100. Defibrillator, 4. Ultrasound scanner with accessories, 2. Look, I'll go through plenty. This list looks like setting up a new hospital. It's like setting up a new hospital. Okay? So what I'm saying is that they didn't have to take this long for you to go and supply this one. Now that you have supplied, are you going to supply all the hospitals?
Yeah,
because, and Selim, you are the health person. Managing tertiary hospitals is no joke. In Ghana, we just do things by heart. There are special hospital administrators who train to be hospital administrators. You tell me what I'm doing. Your first master's was in health management. Yes, you understand. But in Ghana, they will not employ a health administrator. They will employ somebody who is from their party, force the person to be health administrator until things start going bad. Then we pretend that we didn't know. So we are doing everything wrong and expecting the right results. Who does that? My only caution to politicians is that keep away from the professional environments. Let those who have been trained to do the work. And Mr. Minister, elect or select people who have been trained. You have the likes of Austin Game and those people. Let them put themselves together, go and sit with the doctors and do the right thing. The fact that you're a minister doesn't make you a jack of all trades. Just get the right people, do it so that the credit will come to you still. This is my point. Because people are dying. This small thing, 2 days, 3 days, you'll be shocked how many people will be dying.
Yep.
By the time they get to the teaching hospital level, then it means the situation is very critical.
Yeah,
I think they must look at it again. And let me just make a comment on the CEO. I don't know whether to say he was caught up in the crossfire because he maybe ultimate responsibility, but I find the timing of that very problematic. I don't know whether he should have been sacked the moment he was sacked.
They are claiming those at the top who were appointed by.
No, but I mean,
that's considered a 24-hour economy.
Given the problems at stake, I thought that they could have waited. Getting him to leave would appear as if he was made to leave because of the problem. And his Sweeney said no, that wasn't the case, if that's the truth at all. I thought they could have managed that situation better.
So
because
now they wanted the man to leave from long. They wanted the man to leave.
The matter
he came. I think he came. Was it last year or so? I mean, he was appointed.
He's not been there for so long.
He's not been there for
really?
long.
Not too long.
No, it's not been there for long.
He's not been there for so long.
But he was appointed under Ronaldo's government. So the thing is that Mokwa and Mokwa, but that's all. So they wanted to move
the new guy was waiting.
No, he started giving his press conference. And I heard the man, I was confused, say, and the management met. I said, but why did you join the management?
A few hours.
That's what I said, 24-hour economy.
This is what the papers are saying. I'm here with Samuel Tamale as well as Solomon Adonu. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll look at the suspension of the Chief Justice and matters arising. Stay with us.
Emma, what are you watching? Only the best thing ever. Because these holidays, the joy never stops. Picture this. The home is filled with low moments and intense drama from the local shows. With Serie A, Premier League, and even WWE. The kids are hooked up with adventures and fun learning. Yes! I love pie. I love you and pie. So stay connected to entertainment anywhere with GoTV. GoTV, love it.
Yeah, welcome back to what the papers are saying. I am Vivian Lokko here with Samuel Tamale as well as Solomon Adonu. We'll move to the suspension of the Chief Justice. I'll take one or two stories around that, and then we'll move to the case proper. This one from City Newsroom says, Mahama suspends Chief Justice. President Mahama has suspended the Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Tokonu following the establishment of a prima facie case in response to 3 separate petitions seeking her removal from office. The decision is in line with Article 1466 of the 1992 Constitution. So that's the first one we saw coming in. Following that, there's been a lot of reactions, and then the petitions that led to this suspension popping up in the public space. Let me take one of the reactions. This one came from the MPP, who say the move is unconstitutional. So it says the MPP has condemned the suspension, describing the move as unconstitutional, absurd, and repugnant. President Mahama gives a background to the dismissal. However, the MPP has alleged that the president's decision undermines the democratic progress Ghana has made since the inception of the Fourth Republic. I'll quickly take your reactions on the suspension and some of the reactions we are getting from some key people in the country, and then we'll look at the petition that has gotten into the public domain and some of the issues raised leading to the suspension. So I'll start with you, Selim, on this one, on your thoughts around the suspension and the reactions it's garnering so far.
Well, the suspension, I think, is a matter of course. I mean, it was going to happen. The way the matters were, and some of the commentary around the whole petition to remove the CJ, etc., it's just a matter of course. And I think what is important for me is whether the process is fair. You know, whether the process is legally being carried through. So far, I don't think there's been any infraction as far as the constitutional provision 146 is concerned. I think the president has tried to take it step by step and is moving to its logical conclusion. Receive the petition, forward it to the Council of State, do a determination of the prima facie case. You may decide to suspend her or not. He exercised the discretion to suspend her. And of course, Felix Ofojukwasi tells us that the suspension was important because the Chief Justice wields so much administrative power and even judicial power. it may amount to interfering with the process if she's made to remain in office whilst all this process is going on. Number two, it is a huge matter. It goes to, it seeks to strip her of everything she has stood for. And so it will require 100% attention to deal with. You cannot be sitting on cases, attending to programs, dealing with employment issues, administrative issues here and there, when you have such a big matter on your head. I mean, you will need space and time to properly deal with it. So that is an explanation why the president decided to exercise the discretion in a way that will make her sit at home whilst the whole process is ongoing. Okay. And while that was done, Justice Bafo-Boni, the senior most judge on the bench, appointed in 2008 by President Kufuor, together with Eni Yeboah, Jones Doche, Rose Owusu, and a few others. I think there were 5 at the time. Is the only one left on the bench from that era. So he's the one taking charge now, and he started working. I mean, you have seen an internal memo that has been sent around that all cases should be brought to his attention, etc., etc. I mean, they do that. So my caution or my word from the beginning is that the process must be fair. There should be no circumstance under which somebody will say that this was not done properly or the woman was not treated well, etc.
And you believe it's been fair so far?
As far as the law is concerned, I think she's been treated fairly. Okay. If it's a petition, she's been given the petition. Her response was incorporated in establishing the prima facie. I mean, legally and on the face of it, that's what is happening. You may read other meanings into it here and there, but that we can't tell. I only hope that the persons who have been appointed on the committee will do a good job. If she deserves to go, let her go. Okay. If she deserves to stay because the allegations, could not be properly supported, let it be so. Let it not be that she has to leave at all costs. No, let it not be so. Let the process be fair. Let her even sit down in her room and think about it sometime later and say, okay, I think on this I didn't do well, and the committee was right to make me leave. Or sometimes you have those conversations with yourself. Okay. So that's all I pray for. Yeah. I mean, I saw the GBA statement as well. Mm-hmm. I think they're in a difficult place, really, because the GJA's concern, as I've said myself, is that the process should be fair. And they've made that call. Beyond that, I don't know what the GBA could say. So we should just pray that they all ensure that the process is fair, so that the woman is given a fair hearing and she's given every facility she needs to defend herself.
Okay. Tamale.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on it. Let me take you to some of the reactions coming from the suspension. For example, the MPP believes, and I'm quoting what they've said, this is the General Secretary, that the action sets a dangerous precedent, marks a setback for democratic governance in the country. And they also have called on civil society organizations to rise and speak against what they are terming a blatant abuse of power.
Mm. Well, it's true that it sets a dangerous precedent. So because it's setting a dangerous precedent, they should just make sure that they stick to the law. Do the right thing. Whatever process you have to follow, just be kind to the process and follow the process. I mean, look, before the elections, there were NDC people who said that when they come, they'll remove him. You didn't hear that?
No.
Oh, you didn't hear?
No, I did.
Yeah, so they said they'll remove him. The thing they have to do is to look for a legitimate means to remove him, which is what they are doing. And I don't see why we should pretend that we didn't know that they were meant to come and remove the woman, So if the CJ or the former CJ, should I say the former CJ or she's still
CJ?
Okay, the CJ also created a basis for her removal, then that one, there's nothing one can do. Mm-hmm. Whatever they are doing today, they should know that this will be used as a yardstick, which will be applied to you tomorrow. For me, I won't stop saying this. We all thought that when Anadu came, he was going to be there for a long time. And 8 years just came, and he went to sit. Now he's sitting and watching the football like we are all watching. And you too, you are there. 4 years, you go and sit somewhere. So whatever you do, Just be mindful. Just know the reality of life. Whatever and however you do it, you're the bayo. That's all I can say. Me, I don't understand your law things. All I know is that in life, a bad one, the boy techino. By all means.
Okay, we have a few minutes to go. I want us to touch on a third story. I'll move to the mining industry quickly. The Minister of Lands and Natural Resources has been crying over some developments in that industry. Let me quickly take that insert, and then I'll come to you, gentlemen.
This company has not only trespassed into protected reserves, but has become a criminal syndicate, selling assets of the Aboe Forest Reserve to illegal miners for a staggering 300,000 Ghana cedi per concession. Worse, these illegal miners operate under Akonte's protection, devastating the river tunnel and surrounding forests with impunity. They have encroached compartments 49, compartment 121 of the Tanom Nimri Forest Reserve. We gathered a team of investigators to go undercover to make inquiries about the details of these operations. Our undercover team uncovered the well-oiled machinery of destruction. One representative of Akonta Mining, is the liaison of these dealings. He serves as the gatekeeper, negotiating fees and granting illegal access. The concessions are then subleased to individuals like one Mr. Henry and another individual identified as Shak, who are to oversee the devastation of the Aboe Forest Reserve and the Tano River. In light of the overwhelming evidence, I have authorized the Minerals Commission to immediately take steps to revoke the lease of Akonta Mining with immediate effect. I've directed the Forestry Commission officials connected to these illegalities be immediately interdicted pending further investigations and prosecution.
Right, this is not the one I was actually looking for. I was looking for the one that he wept. So if you can find it, you can pull it. But Salom,
and the minister wept.
And the minister wept. Okay,
well, we have nigger.
I mean, he tries to talk tough, or he appears to be talking tough, going on the field, trying to work, etc. But of course, trying to show that he really means the fight. But I think what is important is that there are a number of things you must do if you really mean this fight. Repeal the law, LI 2462 fully, and this directive about deporting foreigners, etc. I mean, reverse that. Let them be prosecuted. I mean, deal with them and all of that.
So was the deportation in place of prosecution?
They won't prosecute them.
Oh,
they will yes, they don't have time. They will deport them. So what's the point? So
based on
China,
law?
I mean, it's not even in line with the law. You are in China, you come, or somewhere you come to Ghana, you come and destroy the place. If they catch you, fine. They just send you back to your house. Then we will come, so that when they catch us, they will pay the ticket for us. We will go home. So when we are coming, we will just come.
I think when they get back, they are supposed to be tried in their home.
But who will? Yeah, that's what they said.
That's what they said. The idea is to try them in their.
You are a lawyer.
Who ensure
countries? You know that the two countries must have come to a certain arrangement for that to be effective.
Yeah.
It's not true. They shouldn't do that. They shouldn't do that. I mean, why do we do this to ourselves? You say when you come, you do ABC. You have come. We are waiting for you to do ABC. Now you are every day you are changing the goalpost. As for this guy, I'm saying, like somebody said, it's an eternal problem.
Right, it must be solved.
No, but stealing is a crime.
Yes, but it still goes on.
So the fact that you are dealing with it does not mean that we wake up one day. So long as the gold remains down there, the guy I'm saying there's not going to stop. It is the destruction that it is meting out to our very existence. That is what we are worried about. When they are now water, we can't even find water to drink. That's the problem. For me, if they can stop that one, how it's messing up our water bodies and the rest, they can dig the ground and go and hide there. That one means not my matter. So if he says he will do it, he should do it. I like the energy. If he can sustain it, so be it. To be fair to them, Selom, to be fair to them, the body language and the signals that they have sent in the last 1 month, if they can continue like this for the next 2 years, we will start seeing signs. I'm telling you, the arrest, don't tell me that the arrest, the military action and all those things, they in vain. It's not in vain. If in the last 4 years that the galamsey started going up like that, if we have seen such action, proper action like we are seeing today from the military people and the police people, we would have gotten somewhere. But they left the door ajar and everybody just said, Obia yenuhufi se poto. Oba yomhufi.
With galamsey mad.
Galamsey at the channel, yeah, they are starting to asleep. They were even they were so compromised that they didn't have the boldness to even to address the issues. So if this, you see, my point is that we here as a station, we have spearheaded this galamsey fight, and we are very passionate about it. So if I see somebody doing the right thing, we need to commend them. It may not solve all the problems, but I'm saying that what they are doing now, going to look at the forest that they went to.
The community.
The community. They went to a community that was smart enough to even dodge Google Map. You think they are joking? Even Google Map could not identify the community. And they have managed to upstage this thing, and they haven't done well. They have done a good job. They have not solved all the problems, but they have done a good job, and they should continue. They should be, why are they? And those people who have compromised their positions doing galamsey over the years, let's go after them, especially the politicians. If you don't name and shame, the NDC appointees will start doing the same things. Because if the people who went past nothing happened to them, they
benefited.
Everybody will benefit.
Yeah, so I think that's it. The signals are good. The minister appears to be on the ground doing all of that. It should be sustained. But I think the key thing that they promised was to repeal the law. I've heard a few of the government functionaries saying that it's in line. I mean, it's in the pipeline. They will do it. Let's see that quickly. Let's reverse this deportation thing. Let's ensure the guys are punished here, and if we deport them, we deport them. So that's what I have to say. In terms of the Akunta mining, if indeed what they did was wrong, the law is there, and the law must deal with them. They have issued a statement saying that the minister was wrong, etc. The courts are there. Let the courts adjudicate the matter if they think that they've been unfairly treated. Indeed, the minister, the last minister, even said that they were mining in forest reserve that they were not supposed to be mining at, and they didn't have the requisite license to be there. That was even a minister in the last regime. Akunta Mining, we know, has a major shareholder being Wontumi. That was his government. The Ashanti Regional Chairman of the MPP. And if a minister in his government could say that, the Minerals Commission, etc., said that, what is he talking about? So if it is wrong, let's deal with them. And it is the politicians we are talking about. Let's name and shame, and let's punish them. If you punish them, it will send a good signal. It's not the small boys. Who there are people. Somebody told me that the port, even if you see the excavators that come into the country on a daily basis, you wonder, where are they going? They are going into the forest for mining. They said there's a place called Temna 2. You can't even get the space to put anything there. Excavators in Kwan. What is it? You know, so I think we need to be wilder on this and get it to the end. And the officers and the commanders should be changed, like they said, because if they are there for a long time, the people will compromise them. So every now and then you change them and bring in new people who are also hungry to win the fight, and then we'll see progress.
Time's up. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Samota and Selom Adonu. I am Vivian Lokko. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.